ranking every single Carnage adaptation there ever has been. To cap off the Halloween month, we're doing it big. In my opinion, the best horror character in Spider-Man's mythos is Carnage. So I figured, why not talk about every single adaptation Carnage has ever appeared in, and we'll rank them. And now, I'm not trying to mince words, I'm trying to jump into things. So you guys, comment down below what you think is the best Carnage adaptation ever, and I'm gonna join in and jump onto this video. There's a few Carnage adaptations I'll talk about in the honorable mentions because there's really like nothing to talk about or to list here. Before I jump into the ranking, I just have to quickly describe the criteria. Now, for Carnage, Carnage is a very easy character for us to talk about as adaptations, correct? He kills a lot, he's a mass murderer, it's Cletus Cassidy, and it's Carnage, he's the son of Venom. These are like the only things he needs to be. If they want to add some little extra stuff in, it's cool. And I also just want to caveat, in the Ultimate Universe, it could be a little bit different because Cletus Cassidy is not necessarily needed in an Ultimate Universe adaptation. So, it could be a little bit different, but that doesn't mean if it is different, it's going to be warranted or be good. If it's... We're talking about the adaptation on how accurate it is, people, okay? So we're just trying to look at how accurate it is, and we're going to rank it from there. In 13th place, the absolute last place on this list, we have the 2017 Spider-Man show's Carnage. Now, in this show, Cletus Cassidy is nowhere to be found. This episode actually doesn't even appear in the 2017 Spider-Man show. It appears in the Guardians of the Galaxy show, and Spider-Man just crosses over. But it's the same Spider-Man from the 2017 show. And in this crossover episode, we do see Carnage. Carnage was sent to Earth out of a warship of Thanos's for some reason. And it turns out Carnage is like digging to the depths of Earth because Thanos was imprisoned in the Earth's core. And then Thanos becomes the host of Carnage. Yeah.
The Guardians of the Galaxy. As I recall, I was about to destroy you when I was rudely interrupted.
I'm not making this up. I'm not lying. It sounds so far-fetched. If you haven't seen the show before, I understand why you don't believe me. But yes, Thanos is this version of Spider-Man's Carnage. Jesus Christ, this is atrocious. You can see why it's at the bottom of this list, right? The only good thing about this adaptation is the Thanos voice actor. I just love this guy. He did Thanos in MVCI as well, and he's just phenomenal.
Palm breaker.
But literally outside of that, this is horrid. This is just horrid. The fight scenes were kind of cool, I won't lie, but this was just horrid. This was terrible. I can't believe they had Thanos be Carnage in a Spider-Man adaptation. Moving on. Number 12. Number 12, everybody. We're going up to number 12. In this placing, we have the Ultimate Spider-Man show. Carnage in this show is a bit odd. Again, if you're going to talk about 1610's Carnage, he doesn't necessarily have to do with Cletus Cassidy, and that's fine, right? Because he's not really in the 1610 universe. But what they did do was they made it like Spider-Man gets injected with the Venom symbiote and it turns him into Carnage. It's out there, people. I don't really agree. And like now, everybody knows if you've read 1610, Peter Parker's blood was used to create Carnage. So I understand where they got this thought process from. But seeing this version of Carnage be Peter, and on top of that, it's not even accurate to the 1610 version of Carnage where it's like more mindless beast monsters. Peter's still in control. He still fights it off and helps like corral the symbiote. He's still paying attention. He's like, hey, wait, that wasn't me. And then like Harry Osborn, Venom is there too. But for me, this has got to be the second to last placing. I just find it so bad. I can't stand the design of it. It's not monstrous. It's not scary. It's Peter Parker as Carnage. It's terrible. There's no real way around it. It's just terrible. I do want to point out that there is a second Carnage in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show. It was created by Michael Morbius, but it ends up just jumping around so much from person to person. There's like a little bit of like good Carnage in there, but for the most part, it's just like person hopping. I think it ends up with Mary Jane. I didn't see the point in really talking about it because it doesn't get a substantial role in the show. But hey, figured I'd at least bring it up. Carnage is in the show twice. We're going to move on to the next one. This one is a little bit odd. I'm not sure if many people have actually seen this one. I was lucky enough to get the chance to see this in theaters, but Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark's Carnage. This Carnage I would put in 11th place. This Carnage actually worked at Oscorp. He was an employee for Norman Osborn, and Norman Osborn thought he was selling the company's secrets, and he gave Spider-Man his abilities. So Norman Osborn's like, I'm experimenting on you now, and he turns young Cletus Cassidy, the young scientist working at Oscorp. What the hell? Why is Cletus Cassidy a scientist? He turns young Cletus Cassidy, the scientist, into the Carnage and makes him join his Sinister Six. Sinister Six consists of some bullshit, too, if we're going to be real with ourselves. But this has got to be, this is trash. Cletus is not a monster, you know, like he's usually portrayed to be. Without the Carnage symbiote, we like to see Cletus be evil. We like to see him be menacing. That doesn't happen here. Actually, it's quite the opposite. He's just working. He's just a regular worker dude. The Carnage design itself, I actually don't think it's too bad. I think it's pretty solid, you know, for like a live action show. It's not the end of the world. I think it's all right. It's passable. It's really like the Norman Osborn forcing Cletus Cassidy into becoming Carnage is just fucking weird. The whole thing was weird, honestly. Who is this? Who is this? Next up, we got number 10. And then in the 10th spot, I got Marvel's Spider-Man Unlimited show.
And we are angry. It is the age of the synoptic.
Now, this show came out in, I think, 1998, maybe 1999. It came out right before the turn of the millennia, and it's very weird. A lot of this show, it takes place on an alternate Earth, so a lot of it, you have alternate versions of characters, right? Like Green Goblin's like a good guy. Electro is like an actual Electro. But two characters did actually remain the same alongside Spider-Man, and that's Venom and Carnage, because they went to alternate Earth as well. They are from Peter's Earth originally, and they go there too. So both of these characters are supposed to be similar to the Carnage that we're supposed to know. But that is not the case here. As you can see by this design, this Carnage is already a bit odd. It's a bit weirder. He's pretty alright. You know, the bones coming out of it looks kind of sick, but overall, I don't really like the design. But you gotta go a step further. This Carnage is apparently Venom's brother.
No! You can't contain us! What have you done with our brother Venom?
And on top of that, he doesn't really want to do bad until the Carnage symbiote's on him. All of this cannot stand if we're talking about the best Carnage adaptation. Cletus should be a monster. He should want to get out there. He should want to get active. But on top of that, Carnage is Venom's son. He's not Venom's brother. He's not wearing my brother. No, why would you care? I mean, not that why would you care. Honestly, yeah, why would you care? You hate that man. You guys aren't supposed to be teaming up. You guys aren't supposed to be friends. Venom and Carnage aren't boys like that. They don't like each other. So even including that, I don't think this is a good adaptation of Carnage, really in the slightest. We've gone through a little bit of the list. We're on to number 9. Number 9 on this list actually moves us to Let There Be Carnage, Venom number 2.
Let there be carnage.
And now Carnage in this movie is not done well. Not at all, honestly. It's not a perfect symbiotic match. That's something that should be done well for Carnage. On top of that, it's not like Venom's son. He just like bites him. And then he has the Carnage symbiote, and they don't go into it at all. They don't go any depths about it either. And then Cletus is also, he like, kind of feels remorseful. He's like, stop it, you can't keep going. Which I guess just feeds into them not being a perfect symbiote or symbiosis. But that's not, Carnage's whole thing is, I am Carnage. I'm Carnage. Venom's like, we are Venom. And then Carnage is like, nah, I'm a perfect symbiote. I am him. We all one and the same. This is my twin. Cletus and I, we're twins. So this movie not doing that was pretty lame. And then also Venom said like, oh, that's a red one. As if that's supposed to mean anything. That's not accurate to anything. A red symbiote doesn't make it stronger inherently. So you could ignore that as well. We're going to put Venom Let There Be Carnage in number 9. It's just not that good. The next few adaptations I'm going to talk about actually aren't that good either. They're not horrible though. And everything before these 3 or so were horrible. These 3 just really are nothing. They don't have much, character in them. Maybe the character just appears in whatever I'm going to talk about, and that's it. So we'll talk about those things really briefly. In number 8, I have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Carnage appears as DLC on certain consoles, and he just appeared in the base game for other consoles. In this game, Carnage is he's Carnage, The nanites are taking over the people during the Civil War, and it's corrupting them, and Carnage doesn't want to be corrupted, so he joins the good guys, or he joins the fight. I don't even know if I'd call them good guys, because they have bad guys on the team, too. I mean, I'm putting him here, but his gameplay's fun. And we know based on the bio it's Cletus, so I'm going to put him in 8th. In 7th, we have Spider-Man Friend or Foe, which is pretty similar, honestly. Invaders are coming to Earth, and they're trying to take over. So Cletus, not wanting to be invaded and taken over, he's going to join up with Spider-Man, and he is playable, I believe, only in the PSP-specific version of the game. And in this version of the game, he's pretty fun to play as. He's got spikes coming out of the ground and stuff. It's not really too crazy, but like I said, it's better than it being like dastardly bad like the original ones we talked about. These aren't offensively bad. We can just keep going. And then at number 6, I have the Ultimate Spider-Man video game. This is probably better than the last two. It does have a little bit more characterization. I think it's solid. I don't think it's great by any means, but at least we get more than what we got in the previous games. And it does also feel a little bit close to 1610 because I believe, again, this uses Peter Parker's blood. Those are the three I want to talk about in the like middle-ish area. We had the bottom tier, which was like the first like 7 or 8. Then we had this middle-ish area. Now we're going to go to the ones that are actually like kind of good or pretty good, honestly. But at number 5, the top 5, we're at the top 5 Carnage adaptations of all time. And in number 5, I would put Lego Marvel Superhero 2.
Let's get out of here and paint the town red!
Lego Marvel Superhero 2 is a phenomenal game. And outside of it making Carnage and Venom Carnum? Venage? It's Carnum. Outside of making them Carnum for the game's story mode, we actually do get a bonus mission where we get to play as Carnage and Venom separately. And although these two do seem a little bit too friendly with me, it is a Lego universe, so everyone's going to be a bit more friendly than you'd realize, so I could let it slide a bit. Carnage has some of the best dialogue in this game that I think he's had in any adaptation ever. Like,
I can't stand stupid fire!
We're out.
Easier than taking candy from a baby, and I know, because I've done it!
it's kind of nuts. He's talking about painting the town red. He's talking about causing chaos and carnage. It's like, I want to hear more of this. And I think the way the voice actors, like the way he's directed to, you know, like the pitches and the inflection he does is literally exactly what I think Carnage should sound like in an adaptation. He should sound shriek, shrill, and just wild. And I think really Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 Carnage was able to do that. I was shocked. Really and truly shocked. So I'm going to give it my 5th placing. Next up, we have our number 4 spot. And in the number 4 spot, we have the 2000 Spider-Man video game. Carnage in this game is, I mean, he's sick, right? When you fight him, he's throwing axes. He's slashing you. He's jumping across. He's got an awesome voice acting. He's evil. He's trying to take over the Earth, which he's trying to do sometimes, you know, with the symbiote invasion. The only real thing I can't see too much is him working with Doc Ock, but even still, he's worked with other bad guys before, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched. He just doesn't have enough story, right? A lot of times at the beginning of the video game, he's just like in like the silhouette of him and he's like hidden. You don't really see him until the end of the game. He does still have his animosity with Venom though, so that's great. The Monster Ock thing was cool too, but that's not really accurate. We're talking about like comic accuracy here. Really, when you just talk about Carnage himself, he has everything you want him to do. He's a slasher, he's a hacker. Cletus Cassidy's the one underneath. He hates Venom. Like, you got all the typical stuff. It just doesn't go super in depth. But either way, I'm going to put it in my top 4. In number 3. In number 3, I have the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game version of Carnage. I actually can't believe how good of a Carnage this is. I truly can't. It's so interesting to me. I mean, there's some things about it that are really like kind of buns. Like he gets injected with the Venom symbiote, quote unquote, and like at Ravencroft by some random guy, Mackerderner or something like that. So that's all stupid in my opinion. That's not even close to accurate. None of that is. But when you like talk about the character and who he is, the character is like talk about how he wants to cause chaos. He wants to like. He was abandoned, he had abusive parents, all this stuff. You know, he's a sadistic killer, he's trying to murder people. It's great, but you go even further. They actually have a moment before you fight like the real full-fledged Carnage and Cletus is on the ground, where you get like a heart-to-heart and the two of them are going back and forth.
What did you kill to understand death? What are you trying to understand?
The meaning, the truth, the secrets it reveals about all of us that we're afraid to see.
I can tell you that. Death is a part of life. It happens. Sometimes for a reason, sometimes for no reason. You're wasting your time looking for some cosmic answer in death.
Exchanging their ideologies and like Peter's like trying to show him like, dude, what are you you're wrong. Like this is not the way to live. You're wrong. I understand why you're thinking this because you've been hurt so badly, but you're wrong. And Carnage is like, no, you're just naive. You're just like me. And it's really fucking good. Honestly, kind of reminds me of Daredevil and Punisher on the roof in season 2 of Daredevil show. It's not that good, don't get me wrong. But it's a really good moment for these two characters in an adaptation I feel like we don't get to see enough. So I love that happening. I love that happening. And then when you get to see Carnage's full-fledged design, Jesus fucking Christ, he looks amazing. He he's ripped out of a comic book. That's how good he looks. You got Cletus Cassidy, you got a beautiful Carnage, you have a great ideology, you got his backstory and everything. This Carnage is pretty fucking godlike. The only reason I don't have it any higher is because I think the other two really just are perfect, or damn near close, as we're gonna get. But in number 2, this might shock some people. In the number 2 spot, I have 90s Spider-Man TAS, the animated series Carnage.
Who are you? Your offspring. Offspring? Yes, yes, we recall replicating. Call us Carnage.
This version of Carnage is just so fucking great. Gets the symbiote, becomes evil. He's got like his own maximum Carnage thing with Dormammu and Mordo. He's got to fight against Venom and Spider-Man and Iron Man. Again, this is not super accurate to Maximum Carnage, but it's clearly stemming from it. It's clearly based off of Maximum Carnage, and I loved all of it.
Guess I could say you asked for this, Redman. Stop! Spider-Man is ours, and ours alone.
The character's a sadistic creep before he even becomes Carnage. He's trying to blow up a building and a bunch of police officers in the vicinity as well.
Terry, you like your job?
What?
Cassidy loves his. Be careful.
He's crazy. I actually love the voice acting for the character. I think it's done phenomenally. And the way he's designed is like peak. It's similar to the last one we just talked about. This design is just so otherworldly. All in all, I think this Carnage is the second best Carnage because we really get to see it feel more accurate, in my opinion. Like the breaking out of jail thing and everything. Like it's not akin a one-to-one, but you know, he meets with Venom in jail. Venom breaks out. He gets the symbiote. He gets it from Mordo, so it's not exactly the same. But he gets the symbiote. Honestly, it just feels so accurate. And I think where it would come into play, like, because I bet people are questioning the Amazing Spider-Man game versus this one. This one has Venom, and it has Venom hating Carnage and vice versa, the 90s show. Versus the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, which doesn't really focus on that Venom aspect really at all. And I think that's a really crucial part of Carnage's character. I love Carnage as a Spider-Man villain, don't get me wrong. But if we're talking about Carnage as an adaptation, he's both a Spider-Man and Venom villain. He's bigger than just one or the other, in my opinion. But I'm going to go with 90s as my number 2 show. And then I'm going to do some honorable mentions real quick. Yeah, I know how we got to do it, the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, okay? Got to give credit to the Fortnite Let There Be Carnage skin. You know, it looks cool. I wish it was more comic accurate, but it still looks great. I actually love the way he looked in the movie. I can't deny that, so got to give that my honorable mention. As well as, I believe he appears in Spider-Man Unlimited looking great in the mobile game. Got to give credits to that godlike game that once existed, and man, we all pray for it to come back every single day. Of course, I have to give an honorable mention to Insomniac's Cletus Cassidy. He would certainly be on this list, and he would be very high up there because what they did with Cletus being like the leader of a cult and whatnot, that's actually like right out of the comics, and we love that storyline. I shouldn't say we love that storyline. It's not bad, though. I'm a fan of it. I won't say everybody loves it, though. I won't go that far. But he's not Carnage in this game, so he's just going to make it on the honorable mention. But like I said, he would be very high up there just off that alone because not many adaptations use storylines from the comics so accurately, and it's like, this is not that bad. This is pretty well done, honestly. If he was Carnage, he'd be at the top probably. He's really good, and I'm looking forward to see what they do with him in the future installments of the Insomniac franchise. And then Maximum Carnage, the video game. I wanted to include this on my list, but it's just so old, and I didn't want to include a lot of the older games. He's in a few of them, and on top of that, you don't really get enough story from him. But this is 2,000% accurate. You get actual comic book pages and panels ripped out of the book. You get boss fights that happen right in the story. It's fucking incredible. So that would be my honorable mentions for Carnage before I get into my number 1 spot. And my number 1 spot for Carnage adaptations has to go to Shattered Dimensions.
Either something really big happened here. Nick Fury has terrible taste in decoration. Bodies drained to husks. There's only one thing that could do this. One thing.
Oh my goodness, I think Shattered Dimensions Carnage is literally peak. This is exactly what I think Carnage should be. Now, this universe is not necessarily 616, it's 1610, it's Shattered Dimensions, so it's a bit more convoluted than that. But even still, In this universe, Carnage is not necessarily got to be Cletus Cassidy. We could actually be fine without it. He's actually just like he's who he is, which actually does happen in the Ultimate comic as well, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it just can be and survive on its own. He doesn't need to be like engaged with another human to like. He doesn't need that symbiosis. He could just sustain itself, and which is what he does. And what he does from there is he also infects the entirety of a SHIELD prison. So it becomes like a nightmare scenario, doomsday scenario, and you're fighting against it while you're also in your Venom suit. You're in the black suit as Spider-Man. Well, really, it's purple because it's the Ultimate Universe, but you're in your purple suit as Spider-Man. You show up, and dude, this is straight fear. This is awesome. This could be one of my favorite missions in any Spider-Man game ever created. Just this sheer adrenaline rush you get from like running through these levels because the horror vibes of it, it's just unmatched. I've never played a Spider-Man game with such good horror vibes. I honestly wish there were more. I wish Insomniac would play on it because I think the hyper-realism could go great with horror. But man, you got to get credit where credit's due. Shattered Dimensions really just like shattered my expectations for any Carnage adaptation. It's not what you usually expect because it's not a 616 version, but when it comes to being a monster, scary, slasher, horror character, this is exactly what you'd expect. And when it comes to 1610, it's really not inaccurate. It's not. It's pretty damn good. This exact storyline obviously doesn't happen. It does its own thing in the book. But in terms of like what it is the character and how they operate, it's so fucking good. It's so goddamn good. And that's my whole list. We just ranked 13 different Carnage adaptations. Shout outs to Carnage. He's one of the best villains in all of Spider-Man mythos. He's actually my favorite. I've gone on record, and I'll go on record again and say it. Carnage is my favorite Spider-Man villain of all time. I don't even think it's close. He's number one to me. I fucking love Carnage. But what do you guys think of him? Come on, let me know down below. Comment down below what you guys think of Carnage. Comment what you guys think is the best Carnage adaptation. Maybe you can even comment what you think is the worst Carnage adaptation. Pretty sure everybody watching is going to be like, Thanos being Carnage is pretty fucking trash. I mean, in theory, it's kind of cool. But I want to see Cletus hacking and slashing, baby. So let me know down below what you guys think, because that's just how I feel. I had a great time making this video. I had a great time this month doing so many horror videos as well. I might get a Man-Spider video in if I can. If I can't, I'm so sorry. I tried my best, but the Perry Man-Spider Marvel Rivals skin is coming out this week, and I want to buy it immediately. Either way, shout-outs to Carnage. Shout-outs to all you guys for watching to this part of the video. I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you. Dunk out. Peace.